Here are the top stories for today, November 26, 2020. All systems go for cashless toll transactions next month. A 24/7 text hotline is open to receive complaints against corrupt government officials. Former Bayan Muna Party List Representative Teddy Casiño admits NPA recruitment among activists. And Christmas tree and star lanterns bring Christmas glow in Quezon City. Good day, I am William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. All systems go for the full implementation of cashless toll transactions. This assurance is made by government officials and representatives of Luzon's Expressway as cashless toll payments begin on December 1.
We can say that we are ready to implement po yung Department Order 2020-12, yung tinatawag na cashless and contactless toll transaction. 100% po we are ready to implement that with the support and full cooperation of the operators. We have been conducting meetings with them, and then we have also conducted our own audit, and then we have observed na naka-ready na po yung mga toll plaza natin. For information po, almost 800 po yung toll lanes po natin na ready na po sila, except for few. Ready po to accommodate po yung tinatawag na contactless via the RFID. Yun pong traffic na sa ngayon po, kaya pong i-accommodate ng mga ETC lanes po natin na RFID ready na po sila. And then they continue to install po yung RFID stickers. As of latest report that was yesterday, more than 3.2 million na po yung may stickers ng RFID. And they continue to install. Ang kanila pong capacity to install ay umaabot po hanggang 30,000 a day. Kaya po nilang i-install, and they have sufficient stocks of RFID.
Metro Pacific Tollways Corporation Chief Communication Officer Romulo Kimbo Jr. said about 66.4% of motorists who passed through MPTC Easy Trip Expressways have used RFIDs as of November 17, compared to 31.9% in July this year.
We are facing the next normal or the next normal. And the RFID is here to stay. We will continue to install RFID stickers way beyond the December 1 deadline. So all these measures to have stickers installed at the toll gates will definitely accommodate everybody who will still need an RFID sticker in our Metro Pacific Tollway network after December 1.
Meanwhile, Ayala MCX Operations Manager Joseph Canlas said more than half of the motorists passing through the Muntinlupa-Cavite Expressway are already using RFID stickers.
So as of today po, we are seeing about 67% of our total motorists converted already in our daily traffic. So similar to what Junji is seeing in the north, ganun din po halos yung nakikita namin trend as far as MCX is concerned. In terms of registration nga po, we are partnering po with AutoSweep in making sure that our customers also, both in SLEX and MCX, will have access to this registration station and be able to load whenever it's necessary for them to load and to top up their accounts. And we're very thankful for that partnership with AutoSweep and also with SLEX as being interoperable and interconnected.
For his part, San Miguel Corporation Tollways President Engineer Manuel Bonoan said they have started the promotion of AutoSweep RFID since February 2015. Roads run by the SMC Tollways include the South Luzon Expressway, Tarlac Pangasinan La Union Expressway, and Star Tollway.
San Miguel Corporation started the promotion of AutoSweep RFID since February 2015 pa kami nagma-market ito, no? And in fact, we have already been accommodating all yung mga RFID customers namin from February 2015. Now, Well, one thing is yung mga stickers namin, lahat ng stickers na binibigay namin is actually free since then. And we have as of now, we have given almost 1.7 million stickers, no, as of November 23.
Reporting corrupt government officials is just a text away to the 8888 Citizens Complaint Hotline. Citizens can now simply text 8888 from both Globe and Smart and their affiliate telcos and raise their concerns. Complaints and grievances on graft and corrupt practices by government officials and employees, as well as slow and inefficient delivery of government services and requests for government assistance. The new platform, our communication channel, will have its soft launch last November 3, would give a boost to the good governance drive of the Duterte administration. Complaints sent via text messages are free of charge.
You can now raise your concerns and requests to the government sa papanong paraan. I-text nyo lamang po dito sa, tandaan nyo 8888 complaint hotline. Anong gagawin nyo? Text nyo lang sa 8888. Yun lang ilalagay nyo Di ba? Send to 8888. Ito, libre po ito. Hindi kayo sisingilin dito. Now, para po maproseso yung inyong gustong idulog sa gobyerno, kailangan ito ang ilalagay nyo sa text message nyo. Kailangan kompleto yung detalye, yung inyong reklamo o yung request, whatever. Lagay nyo yung, unang-una, lagay nyo yung pangalan. Magpakilala kayo. Although kung ayaw nyo naman, okay na rin. Sa akin, kahit walang pangalan, basta nakita ko may problema, pino-forward ko kagad sa appropriate offices. Gumagalaw naman kagad yan. Tapos, yung lagay po yung after your name, yun ang pangalan, lagay nyo na pangalan ng ahensya ng gobyerno. Kung anong involved, BIR, Immigration, Customs, SSS, Office of the President, kahit saan. TNR, DILG, lagay nyo. Tapos, ilagay nyo na kung anong reklamo nyo. Kung nireklamo nyo isang tao, yung opisina, bakit? Eto. So, huwag nyo pong kalilimutan yan. Maniwala kayo. Mabilis!
More public officials are being investigated for anomalies following President Rodrigo Duterte's resolve in fighting corruption in the government. The Justice Department, meanwhile, said those lawmakers whose involvement is relevant to the anomalous transactions would be endorsed to the office of the Ombudsman. President Duterte earlier said he received a list of lawmakers who were allegedly involved in corruption in projects in the Department of Public Works and Highways. He said the list was given to him by Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission Commissioner Greco Belhica. However, he refused to investigate and name these lawmakers, saying he has no jurisdiction over members of a co-equal branch of government. Transparency, good governance, and integrity are some of the noteworthy legacies being pushed by the Presidential Communications Operations Office, or PCOO, among public servants. During the PCOO's 4th Annual Freedom of Information Awards, PCOO Secretary Martin Andanar stressed that Filipinos should be provided with timely and relevant information. Andanar said lawmakers should step up and pass the FOI bill currently pending in the Congress, as a policy is a legacy beneficial to society. Awardees for the 4th Freedom of Information Recognition event include the Department of Labor and Employment, Department of Energy, and Department of Transportation. Health protocols would be strictly enforced in Manila, especially for those who would troop to different markets in the city for the holiday season. This and other news around the metro from Marita Mawahe.
Manila Mayor Francisco Isko Moreno Domagoso ordered the Manila Police District to enforce the minimum public health safety protocols in big markets in the city, specifically Divisoria, Quiapo, and Blumentritt. Mayor Isko Domagoso said the city will continue to enforce the Interagency Task Force protocols as they anticipate the surge of people in the city this holiday season. As such, there will be a one entrance, one exit policy in the markets. The public are also required to wear their face masks, face shields, and observe safe physical distancing at all times. In San Juan City, the country's first solar-powered bike pit stop and repair station located within the premises of the City Hall officially opens to the public. San Juan Mayor Francis Zamora said the biking facility is open to all bikers. The construction of the pit stop includes the building of bike parking areas, bikers' resting area, along with a small footprint bike repair station complete with hanger arms, repair tools, and air pump. The city government also launched the bike sharing program where each employee is allowed to borrow a bike for 1 week. In Taguig City, the local government has transformed an initial 10 classroom of the Taguig City University or TCU into teaching hubs. Each teaching hub is equipped with studio equipment as well as a technical team available to assist faculty members conducting live online classes. The city government also distributed 8,700 computer tablets to TCU students, almost 300 computer tablets to all the full-time and part-time faculty members, and released allowances to students amounting to 5,000 pesos to 10,000 pesos each. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Marita Muaje.
Nearly 6 million Filipinos register for the national ID. According to the Philippine Statistics Authority or PSA, low-income Filipinos have taken the first step of the registration phase for the Philippine Identification System or PhilSys amid some delays posed by the recent typhoons. According to Assistant Secretary Rosalinda Bautista of the PhilSys Registry Office, registration is still on track amid the delays due to the recent calamities. The PSA targets to register the majority of Filipinos by the end of 2022. Still to come, a town in Lanao del Norte receives its first tranche of budget for the Balik Probinsya Bagong Pag-asa program, and workers who have yet to receive financial aid can still avail of the benefit. More on these when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Alamin kung paano ang tamang pagsusuot ng surgical mask. Una, hawakan ang mask sa strap at siguruhing natatakpan nito ang inyong bibig at ilong. Tandaan, ang may kulay na bahagi ng mask ang dapat nasa labas. Ito lamang ang tamang paraan ng pagsuot nito. Ihulma ang nose piece o maliit na metallic strip ayon sa hugis ng inyong ilong. Iwasan ang paghawak sa inyong ilong at bibig. Kung marumi na ang mask, hubarin ito gamit ang strap at itapon ito sa isang basurahan. Siguruhin ang maayos na paghuhugas ng kamay gamit ang sabon at tubig. Ang surgical mask ay dapat gamitin ng mga pasyenteng may sakit sa baga o mga taong mayroong ubo, sipon at lagnat, mga nag-aalaga sa mga may sakit, at mga healthcare at frontline workers. Maaari ring magsuot nito kung kayo ay pupunta sa matataong lugar. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to! Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP, at ng himpilang ito.
You are still watching the PNA Newsroom. The United States has reaffirmed its steadfast military partnership with the Philippines, the oldest U.S. treaty ally in Asia. U.S. Secretary of the Air Force Barbara Barrett on Wednesday met with Defense Undersecretary Cardoso Luna, AFP Chief of Staff General Gilbert Gapay, and Philippine Air Force Commander Lieutenant General Allen Paredes. Barrett underscored the importance of the U.S.-Philippine alliance to national and regional security and discussed opportunities for greater bilateral security cooperation. She also highlighted U.S. assistance and disaster relief for recent typhoon victims, as well as ongoing U.S. support for counterterrorism and maritime security efforts. The Secretary's trip follows U.S. National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien's November visit, during which he announced $18 million in additional military equipment and training for the AFP, as well as an additional $3.5 million in humanitarian assistance to typhoon-affected communities. The national government released on Tuesday the first tranche of the 25 million peso funding for the Balik Probinsya Bagong Pag-asa or BP2 program to the Lanao del Norte town of Causwagan. Mayor Romel Arnardo said the money would be used to construct the Bagong Pag-asa Green Village that would house 200 families in Barangay Tacub. As a pilot local government unit, Arnardo said they anticipate more development programs pouring into the town to boost the local economy. Executive Secretary Salvador Melgadea said the new BP2 village is the model of strong cooperation between the national government, local government, and the private sector. Mindanao Development Authority or MINDA Secretary Emmanuel Piñol said the returning families would no longer suffer from congestion, joblessness, pollution, and other problems associated with living in urban centers. Meanwhile, Senator Christopher Lawrence Bongo said BP2 aims to decongest the national capital region while equitably distributing wealth, resources, and opportunities to the countryside. Workers of companies that have implemented flexible work arrangements or alternative work scheme and have yet to receive financial aid are covered by COVID-19 Adjustment Measures Program or CAMP under Bayanihan 2 or Bayanihan to Recover as one. The Department of Labor and Employment said affected workers of micro, small, and medium enterprises who applied for CAMP on or before April 15 are entitled to the cash assistance. The DOLE also relaxed the documentary requirements, particularly the SSS certification for displaced and temporarily laid off workers who have submitted CAMP applications individually. Under CAMP, formal sector workers will be getting a one-time 5,000 peso cash subsidy. Meanwhile, the Department of Social Welfare and Development in Caraga has released some 86.8 million pesos through the Kalahi Seeds program for the COVID-19 response in the area. Esther Villamor, the Deputy Program Management of Kalahi Seeds in Caraga, said the region has a total allocation of 96.5 million pesos for Kalahi Seeds projects this year. DSWD 13 Information Officer Marco Davy Reyes said that as a disaster response mechanism, Kalahi Seeds projects are mainly focused on protecting the residents in the program areas from the threats of COVID-19. The town of Palompon in Leyte will be closed to non-residents from December 2 to 3 to prevent mass gatherings as it celebrates the annual fiesta. In a social media post, Mayor Georgina Arevalo said receptions are allowed only for residents and immediate family members within the community. Excepted in the travel ban are health workers, civil servants, media, public utilities, rescue and peace and order personnel, and persons residing outside the town in need of immediate medical attention and other emergencies. Drinking alcoholic beverages outside the residence is strictly prohibited, while all religious events must follow the guidelines for modified general community quarantine. The local government will issue access passes to non-residents working in the town, resident access pass to residents who have personal business outside the poblacion, and a transit pass for those bound for other destinations traversing the town. The town will celebrate the Feast of St. Francis Xavier on December 3. In our business news, a Japanese manufacturer of polymerase chain reaction or PCR test equipment will be investing in the country before the year ends. Trade Undersecretary Seferino Rodolfo said the activities of the Japanese investors will involve producing PCR test kits and assembling PCR machines. Rodolfo said the Japanese firm is one of the foreign manufacturers of COVID-19 related products that aim to put up their facilities here. The yet-to-be-identified firm will register its project with the Philippine Economic Zone Authority or PEZA. The DTI has been active in inviting companies to manufacture COVID-19 related products such as medical-grade personal protective equipment, test kits, medical supplies and equipment, medicines, and vaccines in the country. The country is now also producing ventilators and other medical equipment critical for the fight against COVID-19. The Philippine Competition Commission reiterated the crucial role of competition policies as the government tries to revive the economy amid the pandemic. PCC Chairman Arsenio Balisacan said policies that may lead to lessening competition, increasing market concentration, and distorting market structures must be lifted when no longer needed. He said such consequences will stifle long-term prospects for innovation, growth, and consumer welfare. The Bayanihan to Recover as One or Bayanihan 2 has increased the compulsory notification for merger and acquisition transactions. Although this could save failing and existing firms affected by the pandemic through mergers and acquisitions, this could result in a rise in market power. Bayanihan 2 has also prevented the PCC to conduct motu proprio review for 1 year. PCC chief said that with fewer M&A notifications following the passage of Bayanihan 2, the antitrust body will heighten its enforcement efforts to prevent anti-competitive deals and abusive practices that harm consumers. Up next, former Bayan Muna Party List Representative Teddy Casiño admits NPA recruitment among activists. And Christmas tree and star lanterns bring Christmas glow in Quezon City. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Alamin ang tamang paraan ng pag-ubo upang mapigilan ang paglaganap ng coronavirus disease 2019. Ugaliing magdala ng panyo o tissue. Kung uubo o babahing, takpan ang buong ilong at bibig gamit ang panyo o tissue. Kung walang dalang panyo o tissue, maaaring gamitin ang braso na pantakip. Kung nakararamdam na kailangan umubo o bumahing, agad na dumistansya sa mga tao sa paligid. Huwag dumura kung saan-saan, gumamit ng tissue at itapon sa basurahan. Ugaliin ang paghuhugas ng kamay at paggamit ng alcohol o hand sanitizer upang mamatay ang mikrobyo. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to! Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito.
Former Bayan Muna Party List Representative Teodoro Casiño admitted that activists are the first target for recruitment of the New People's Army, the armed wing of the Communist Party of the Philippines. Casiño made the comment after Senate President Vicente Soto III asked why former NPA members who stood as resource speakers at the Senate hearing on red tagging on Tuesday were not directly recruited as armed rebels but as activists. Casiño said the NPA recruits among the idealistic sectors of society. He said they think activists can sacrifice and devote their full time for these kinds of activities. Casiño also refused to denounce the NPA for killing security forces of the government, saying they do not consider them as enemies. National Security Advisor Hermogenes Esperon Jr. meanwhile said that the government is all right with activism, but like other democratic expressions, it should have boundaries, such as armed struggle. The government has helped two former child warriors of the New People's Army in filing charges against the communist terrorist rebels that deceived and recruited them. More on these from Laid Cabagani.
Two former child warriors of the New People's Army filed on Wednesday charges against several rebels for human rights violation and engaging children in armed conflict. Rufa Lombog alias Roslyn 21 and her 17-year-old sister were recruited by the communist terrorist group as minors. Formally charged are members of Squad A Platoon 1, Sub-Regional Committee Levux Eastern Visayas Regional Party Committee of the CPP-NPA. Army 82nd Infantry Brigade spokesperson Captain Kaharudin Kadel said the filing of cases is a collective effort of the Eastern Visayas Regional Task Force to end local communist armed conflict legal cooperation cluster. In Agusan del Norte, more than 200 underground mass supporters of the NPA surrendered to the army in Barangay Camagong, Nasipit Town Tuesday afternoon. The surrenderers include members of the Higaynun tribe in the area. 23rd Infantry Battalion Commander Lieutenant Julius Cesar Paulo assured the villagers of the government's continued support. Meanwhile, AFP Chief of Staff General Gilbert Gapay scored former Bayan Muna Party List Representative Teddy Casiño for refusing to condemn the activities of the CPP, NPA, and the F. During Tuesday's Senate hearing on red tagging, Casiño said the NPA members are not enemies, justifying their atrocities as being engaged in rebellion. Former rebels and previous members of the CPP-NPA were presented by the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict to testify on the CPP-NPA's use of legal organizations such as an Akbayan League of Filipino Students and Kabataan Party List to recruit new members. In other news, PNP Chief General Debold Sinas welcomed the surrender of more than 10 CPP-NPA members operating in Central Visayas and encouraged more rebels to return to the fold of law and lead new lives with their families. On Saturday, NPA members Yola Fat and Melvon Sabia surrendered to the 73rd Maneuver Company of Regional Mobile Force Battalion 7 in Barangay Liong, Damanhug, Cebu. Sinas recognized the anti-insurgency efforts of the Central Visayas PNP as a breakthrough to the government's EO-70 that offers many opportunities for rebel returnees. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Late Kabagan.
The House of Representatives on Wednesday approved on second reading a bill raising the age of statutory rape from the current 12 years of age to 16 years old. The lower chamber passed House Bill 7836, which seeks to provide stronger protection against rape, sexual exploitation, and sexual abuse, and increasing the age of determining the commission of statutory rape. The measure seeks to impose reclusion perpetua or 40 years imprisonment for statutory rape. Subsequent valid marriage between the victim and offender will not extinguish criminal liability. Aggravating circumstances include when the victim becomes pregnant, when the victim suffers a permanent mental or psychological disability, or when grooming is used. Tingog Party List Representative Yeda Marie Romualdez, one of the principal authors, said any adult who has sexual intercourse with a minor below 16 years old will be guilty of rape even if the minor has given consent. Nominations for the fourth enshrinement of the Philippine Sports Hall of Fame has been extended until January 31 next year. Philippine Sports Commission Chairman William Ramirez said the selection committee have decided to extend the nominations in light of the continuing pandemic. Ramirez said the panel is also looking into the possibility of hosting the awarding online. Republic Act No. 8757, or the Philippine Sports Hall of Fame Act, enshrines Filipino athletes, coaches, and trainers who have distinguished themselves in their particular fields in sports. Among the past recipients of this award were Filipino boxing legend Gabriel Flash Elorde, Asia's first chess grandmaster Eugene Torre, Asia's fastest woman Lydia De Vega, and bowling world champions Rafael Paeng Nepomuceno and Olivia Bong Ku. Quezon City has lit up its Stars of Hope lanterns and giant Christmas trees to give hope amid the challenges brought by the COVID-19 pandemic. The city government aspires to inspire its citizens despite the recent typhoons that destroyed many properties and the COVID-19 pandemic that has so far claimed many lives. On its social media page, the city government invited everyone to participate in the Christmas tree and the Stars of Hope lanterns lighting installed in major parts of the city. The Stars of Hope were simultaneously lighted in the Quezon City Hall along Quirino Highway in Novaliches, Katipunan Avenue, Quezon Avenue, and the Quezon City Memorial Circle. And here's the latest in our community billboard. The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, reminds the public that there will be no voter registration on Monday, November 30, and on December 8, the Feast of the Immaculate Conception. November 30, or Bonifacio Day, is a regular holiday, while December 8 is a special non-working holiday. Likewise, voter registration is conducted from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. only during weekdays or from Monday to Thursday. Meanwhile, voter applicants can use the COMELEC's online registration facility to help them register for the May 2022 national and local elections. According to the poll body, applicants may register by accomplishing forms through iRehistro. However, applicants need to personally appear before their local COMELEC office together with their printed online application forms or QR scanning and biometrics capture to complete the filing process. Let's take another look at today's biggest stories. All systems go for cashless toll transactions next month. A 24/7 text hotline is open to receive complaints against corrupt government officials. Former Bayan Muna Party List Representative Teddy Casiño admits NPA recruitment among activists. And Christmas tree and star lanterns bring Christmas glow in Quezon City. Thank you for watching another episode of the PNA Newsroom. To check more news content, check our webpage or head on to the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. For more stories about the government and how it serves Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. We are shown on the pages of the PCOO and its attached agencies. Also watch us on television on PTV4 and IBC 13. And it's 29 days to go before Christmas. And that's your daily dose of the biggest stories that you need to know from the PNA Newsroom. We tell stories that inspire change. I am William Theo. Good day to everyone.